Hello everyone. In this class, we'll try to learn about what is physiology of contraception. At the end of the class, students should be able to classify contraceptives used for males and females, name the temporary and permanent methods of contraception in males and females, explain the mechanism of action of oral contraceptive pills and intrauterine contraceptive devices, that is IUCDs, list the merits and demerits of IUCD, remember the merits and demerits of other types of contraceptives, give the mechanism of action of other contraceptives, and mention the failure rate of each contraceptive method. India is a highly populous nation. One of the major problems India facing is in the recent years is birth control. In April 1976, India formulated its first national policy, and National Population Policy 2000 is the latest in the series. All these policies primarily aim at reducing birth rate. When birth control procedures work prior to implantation of the fertilized egg, they're called as contraceptives. When the work after implantation cause death of an embryo, so they are termed as abortifacients. So this is how contraception has been classified. So they are classified into the following categories: barrier methods, can be physical or chemical methods, intrauterine devices, hormonal methods, post-conceptional methods, and permanent methods. So they can also be classified into temporary contraception and permanent contraception. In temporary, again, as we discussed, barrier, natural conception, contraception, intrauterine devices, steroidal contraception, and the permanent, in male it is tubal ligation, and in male it is vasectomy. Physical methods. In male, condom is the most widely used barrier device in male. It prevents sperm to be deposited in the vagina. The biggest advantage is that it provides protection against sexually transmitted diseases. In female, diaphragm is most commonly used as a vaginal barrier. Spermicidal jelly is usually used along with the diaphragm. Another female barrier device is vaginal sponge. Chemical methods. Various spermicidal agents like foams, creams, suppositories are inserted manually into vagina before intercourse. These act as a surface active agents that attach themselves to sperms and decrease their oxygen uptake and kill them. They are not usually used due to their high failure rate. Intrauterine devices. Okay, so there are different types of intrauterine devices. There are three generations. First generations are lipase loop. Second generation intrauterine devices are the earlier copper 7, copper T100, and the newer devices are copper T variants, that is T copper 220C, T copper 38, and T copper 380 Ag. And the third generation IUDs, they are with a hormonal preparation, for example, progesterone. It's a T-shaped device filled with the 38 milligrams of progesterone. Levonorgestrel or levonorgestrel 20, a T-shaped IUD releasing 20 micrograms of levonorgestrel, synthetic steroid. Here you can see the different types of intrauterine devices. This is copper T200, this is multilode 375. So this is 380A, and this is the progesterone that is contains levonorgestrel, and it releases that particular hormone. The intrauterine devices work by several mechanisms. Usually they work after fertilization has occurred, but before implantation is completed. The presence of these small objects in the uterus brings about uterine changes that interfere with endometrial preparation for acceptance of blastocysts. Thus, implantation is prevented. They also act as a foreign body in the uterine cavity, causing cellular and biochemical changes in the endometrium and the uterine fluid that impairs the viability of the gamete. Therefore, the chance of fertilization is reduced. Copper facilitates cellular reaction in endometrium composition of cervical mucus, impairs sperm motility, and impairs capacitation of the sperm. Hormone releasing devices increase the viscosity of cervical mucus by releasing progesterone. They make mucus thick so that sperm cannot enter into the uterus. They also make endometrium unfavorable for implantation. So these are the merits and demerits of some of the intrauterine devices. Advantages are they are inexpensive, and copper T is distributed free of cost through the government channels in India. Simplicity in techniques in insertion, and it is the most effective of all methods. Uh, there can be prolonged contraceptive protection after insertion up to 5 to 10 years, and it is suitable for the rural population in developing countries. Systemic side effects are nil, suitable for hypertensive, breastfeeding women, and epileptics. So, reversibility to fertility is prompt after removal. So, some of the disadvantages are it requires motivation, and some of the local adverse reaction manifested by menstrual abnormalities, pelvic inflammatory disease, pelvic pain, and most importantly, heavy periods. Most of the time, they are discontinued because of the heavy periods. Since side effects are less with the third generation IUDs. So, and there is also risk of ectopic pregnancy. Hormonal contraceptives. So they can be the oral contraceptive pills, or they can be depots, that is slow releasing of formulations of hormones. Oral contraceptives can again be combined pill, or classical pill, progesterone only pill, postcoital pill, once a month pill, or male pill, Gossypol. In depots, there are injectable preparation, there can be subcutaneous preparation or implants, and vaginal rings which are going to release the hormones. Oral contraceptive pills. Presently, OCP contains 30 micrograms of estrogen and zero point 0.5 to 1 milligram of progesterone. The pill is given for 21 days from the 5th day of cycle. Oral contraceptives are based on the principle that estrogen and progesterone inhibit pituitary gonadotropin release. Therefore, they prevent ovulation. Progesterone only pill affects and composition. They are going to affect the composition of the cervical mucus, especially progesterone, in that reducing the ability of the sperm to pass through cervix and inhibit the estrogen-induced proliferation of endometrium, making it inhospitable for implantation. Some of the side effects are, though OCPs are 100% effective in preventing pregnancy, so there are risk of or few side effects, especially when consumed for many years. So there can be cardiovascular effects like myocardial infarction, cerebral thrombosis, venous thrombosis, and hypertension have been reported. These side effects are more seen in aged, that is more than 35 years women, and in smokers. Hypertension occurs due to the fluid retention and increased angiotensin levels. Estrogen increases renin-angiotensin activity and thereby increases angiotensin II production, which is a potent vasoconstrictor. Increased risks, it has an increased risk of development of cervical cancer and breast neoplasia, which have been reported. So it also leads to the development of hepatic tumors rarely. Some of the metabolic side effects, the oral contraceptive pill decrease HDL and alter blood coagulability. These two factors facilitate atherosclerosis and proneness to myocardial infarction and stroke. They also cause glucose intolerance and insulin resistance. Miscellaneous other side effects include cholestatic jaundice, breast tenderness, weight gain, and migraine. Subcutaneous implants are contraceptive, that is progestogen, sometimes capsule, Norplant, implanted beneath the skin, and that release hormones slowly and last for 5 years. Injectable forms, that is intramuscular injection of progestogen substance like Depo-Provera every 3 months, are also available, vaginal ring containing levonorgestrel has been found to be effective. Post-conceptional pills. Contraceptives used within 72 hours of intercourse, that is post-coital contraception. It is called as post-coital contraception. These pills interfere with the ovulation, transport of conceptus to the uterus, or implantation. Usually high dose of estrogen or two large doses, which are given 12 hours apart, of a combined estrogen progesterone oral preparation are prescribed. Most effective with fewer side effects is pill RU 486, that is mifepristone, which antagonizes the progesterone activity by binding competitively with progesterone receptors in the uterus. This causes endometrium to erode and the contraction of the fallopian tubes and myometriums to increase. Other methods like rhythm method or safe period method. The rhythm method is the abstinence of sexual intercourse during the fertile period of the cycle, that is the near the time of the ovulation. In 28 days of regular cycle, normally ovulation occurs between 12th to 16th day but usually occurs on 14th day. Functionally, sperm can survive for 2 days and ovum for 3 days. Therefore, unprotected intercourse should be avoided during the fertile period of the cycle, which fall between 2 days before and 3 days after ovulation. That is, from the 10th day to 19th day of the cycle. The rest of the period of the cycle is considered to be a safe period. However, the day of ovulation is not always fixed, even in regular cycles, and cycle length is also not always regular. Moreover, only the length of the luteal phase is constant, which is 14 days from the day of ovulation, and practically it is difficult and tedious to know the day of ovulation. Therefore, in practice, shortest cycle minus 18 days gives the first day of fertile period, and the longest cycle minus 10 days gives the last day of fertile period. For example, if duration of shortest cycle is 25 days, so then 25 minus 18 equal to 7 day, and the duration of the longest cycle is 32 days, 32 minus 10, that is 22nd day. The unprotected intercourse should be avoided between 7th and 22nd day of any cycle. However, pregnancy has been documented due to intercourse on any day of the cycle. Therefore, it is believed that no period is in any cycle, even during bleeding phase, is absolutely safe. Coitus interruptus. In this method, during fertile period, male partner withdraws penis from vagina before ejaculation. Thus, sperm is not deposited in the female genital tract in the fertile period. Breastfeeding. Till the mother continues to nurse the baby with breastfeeding, ovulation does not occur. So this is because of the prolactin secreted during the lactation produces lactational amenorrhea by inhibiting GnRH secretion. Other planning operation, that is the permanent methods. Male sterilization. Male sterilization is performed by vasectomy. In vasectomy, bilateral ligation of the vas deferens is performed instead of sectioning the vas, as recolorization can be taken up in future whenever needed. However, antibodies develop against spermatozoa following vasectomy cause infertility following restoration of the patency of the vas. In female, the female sterilization is performed by bilateral tubal ligation. Tubal recolorization is also be performed after whenever it is needed or required. So this table tells about the effectiveness of the oral, contraceptive methods depending on the pregnancy occurring by 100 woman years. So the most effective methods are implants, intrauterine devices, sterilization, male and female. They have a less than 2 pregnancy per 100 woman years. Whereas very effective methods are injectable hormones, the coital pill, patch, vaginal rings, where they have a 3 to 9 pregnancies. And effective methods are male condom, diaphragm, female condom, and fertility awareness methods, which have a 10 to 20 pregnancy per 100 woman years. And least effective methods are spermicides. So this is in brief about uh, the physiology of contraception. Thank you.